Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we're back with another tier list type video. I really wanted to make this one like right after I released my 358 over 2 days video, and seeing as that was like a year and a half ago, we're a little bit late. But I'm getting back into the swing of making videos and stuff. And I'm trying to have a regular schedule, and I do want to get back into Kingdom Hearts, and seeing as my next game will be Kingdom Hearts 2, which I'm very, very excited about, I wanted to make this video. I haven't even started collecting footage, so it's still going to be a while before my Kingdom Hearts 2 video comes out. But I was like, I want to talk about the Organization XIII, because I wanted to talk about them during, like, after 358, because that's literally the Organization XIII game. So yeah, please keep in mind that while I have played the entire Kingdom Hearts series outside of Dark Road, I still have not finished the story for Dark Road. I have played Union Key. It has been a year and a half since I've engaged with the series at all, so if I say anything that's like incorrect, it's just me misremembering it, or it's my own personal bias formed over years. So, with that intro out of the way, let's talk about the organization. Let's get 1, 2, 3, 4. 14 files are chosen. 14? There should only be no, I'm just kidding. That joke is so overdone. Anyways, as always, I'm gonna start on one end and go back and forth. I had to, like, set up my thing to... Oh, wait, should I full screen it? Oh, no, it's already full screen, I think. Is it? No, it is. Okay. Anyways, we're scuffed. But, yeah, let's start with Xion. We're gonna put Xion in S tier. Guys, I love Xion as a character. I feel like... Now, okay. Bear in mind, while I have played Kingdom Hearts, I have played the entire series of Kingdom Hearts. I played this series around 2020. My sister played Kingdom Hearts 1 and, like, was really into the series, like, in, like, the 2010s. So in, like, peak, like, Kingdom Hearts time. And it is my understanding that, like, somebody who played Kingdom Hearts in the 2020s, after, like, the release of everything has become a little bit more, like, accessible, versus somebody that has played it, like, as it was coming out. Like, your opinions on characters are going to be very different. But it is my understanding that Xion was not a very well-loved character when the initial release of Days happened. Whether or not this is the initial release of the actual DS game or the initial release of the 1.5 remaster, I am not sure. I have a feeling it's 1.5 because I feel like 1.5, like, my initial engagement with Days was through, like, the 1.5 remaster, like, kind of movie thing. And while I did enjoy the story, I think that playing the game on the DS with the mission system is really important to your understanding of these characters. I talked about it in my actual Days video quite a bit for, like, Isa, for example, or Syx. But I think that Xion is also one of those characters that, like, you really needed the added context of, like, the lines and, like, those little moments to kind of bond. It's very difficult to connect with a character that you only know for, like, an hour and a half before they kill them off. And playing Days itself, like, really just, it helps to kind of, harbor that connection and make, like, her story arc more meaningful. But I really do like the themes that Xion poses about self-identity and, how you kind of see yourself and your place in the world, and how important it is to, like, kind of form bonds and everything like that. I really love her relationship with Roxas and Axel. I think that, honestly, especially with Axel, I think that her and Axel actually have a really, really interesting dynamic that I didn't fully appreciate in the original 1.5, but I really do enjoy her character as a whole, and I'm really excited. I really hope she doesn't get, like, annexed to the sidelines. I feel like that is something that is, like, a potential risk with Kingdom Hearts right now as we move into the new arc, if we ever move into the new arc, because it's been years and we haven't heard anything. But the cast has gotten to the point where it's very, very bloated, and we're starting to kind of move on to a new era with new characters and a new story and a new setting. So it kind of feels like some characters might end up getting shafted, which does suck for me because, like, my favorite characters are Vanitas and Terra, And while Vanitas has potential because of his involvement in the Union Key and the darkness and everything, I feel like Terra is like absolutely just a nothing burger at this point. But we're kind of getting off topic from Shion. But yeah, so I really hope that they don't sideline her going forward, because I think that she still has a lot of like potential and a lot of like interesting things that can happen, especially as we move into this like, she is now her own person and she can do and be what she wants to be, and she can figure that out for herself. She's no longer bound to like this duty and like this feeling of having to go back to Sora and everything like that, and having to be like this puppet. Like, she can just be herself now, and I think that's really interesting, and I'm really excited to see what they do. Next up is Xigbar. I'm putting Xigbar in A tier. So guys, I love Xigbar. Like, even before all of the reveals came out about Xigbar being like Lushu and how he's involved with the Keyblade War and Union Key and everything like that, I always thought he was a very like entertaining character. He just always has that like that aura of like, I know so much more than you do. And while at first it was just like a charming character trait, I thought it like really makes sense in the context of like everything we learn as we go through the series. And I think that they just did a really great job with him in general. I do really like his fights. He's like a ranged fighter. I think his weapon's really cool. I love his like, and I love his voice. I love like his speech pattern. I feel like he's a very just like distinct character. And yeah, I will say that I did get a spoiler for something in Dark Roads, because as I said, I haven't played much of Dark Road. I don't know much about it, but I did find out something about a character named Bragi in Dark Road, and he has like a relation to Xigbar, which makes sense based off the name alone, because you know how much Kingdom Hearts loves its anagrams. But yeah, I'm really excited for how that reveal comes into play and what exactly happens with that. So yeah, I'm gonna put Larxene also in A tier. I really do love Larxene, guys. I feel like in the actual series itself, she can come across as a bit of a one-note character. She's very much like a... My sister likes to describe her as the knife wife. She's very abrasive, and she has a very aggressive personality. She's always kind of like looking for a fight. Like, she's mean, she's snarky. But I do think that she's very entertaining, which is why I do like her so much. And I think that as they start to reveal her somebody memories, there becomes a lot of very interesting potential for her as a character. Because I'm not gonna lie, when they introduced her in Union Key, I was like, oh my god, I know who that is. And yeah, that brings me to Xemnas. Oh, Xemnas is kind of tough. Dare I? Like, this whole video is just A tier and S tier. That's not true, because I don't like all of them, but there's a lot of good ones right off the hop. I feel like I gotta put Xemnas in S, guys. Again, Xemnas also, as a character, as a villain, just very, very, very good villain. I think that, like, I really do think Kingdom Hearts 2 is, like, very, like, peak rivalry, like, Sora, like, villainry kind of shenanigans. I think a lot of it has to do with, like, his presence and his, like, gravitas. The voice really helps, and just, like, I genuinely believe that the final boss of Kingdom Hearts 2 being Xemnas, and like the fight with Riku is like one of like the most memorable and like one of my favorite fights like in the series. And yeah, I just love him. I think he's a cool character. I think that, I don't know, did people not like his ending in Kingdom Hearts 3? Like, what was the opinion on that? I saw a lot of talk for Kingdom Hearts 3 about like the overuse of like the redemption arc kind of thing. Like, all the bad guys like got redeemed at the end, which, while I do see like validity in that statement, I also think there's a difference between forgiveness and redemption, and acknowledgement of regret versus being like damnation of their own actions. Like, Xemnas's like ending speech with Sora didn't strike me so much as redemption, more so like acknowledging like, yeah, I did some shitty shit to people who kind of like look to me for guidance sort of deal. And yeah, so I don't know. I didn't have like major qualms about his ending in Kingdom Hearts 3, and I still think that he's a really well done character. So yeah, S tier for him. Demyx. I love Demyx so much. Demix gets to be... No, I feel like that's it. I feel like Demix can't. He will be ahead of Larxene. Demix, need I say more besides Demix better be the master of masters, guys. I love Demix so much, and like, just based off vibes, because like genuinely, that's the thing that's about Demix that's so interesting, is like, how is he the only organization member that we literally know nothing about? Like, not a thing about this man. We don't know anything about him besides he loves his sitar. That's all we know. Okay. Zaldin. So, Zaldin is another character that, I did think he improves with 358, very much so, because there's a lot of implications about his backstory in 358 that kind of create a little bit more of a like nuanced character. I feel like in just Kingdom Hearts 2 by itself, it can come across as very like very like just like this guy's just evil for the sake of being evil. Like he's just like convincing Beast like you know, like that Belle is a liar and she like doesn't really love him and like all this stuff. But then as we see like him kind of explaining to Roxas about like love being like a poison and how like the people most precious to you are the ones that can hurt you the most and like all this stuff, it kind of like adds this like layer of what happened to you, like who hurt you that led you to this line of thinking. And I think it's a really, really interesting like idea and concept, and really adds like this depth of character to him that I think makes him very interesting. Not to mention he's just like, he's a cool guy. Look at those lamb chops. And like, you know, he's the Whirlwind Lancer. I don't think that he's like has enough substance to be a like A tier, S tier character. And I also don't think that like that, and I think that's okay. Like in a big organization, like the Organization 13, like not every character needs to be a standout person. Like they can just, you know, they can just be chilling. But I do think that, yeah, like 358 was like, he was a character that did get a lot of like interesting lines and stuff like that for 358. And I do really like that. I like him more than I did with just Kingdom Hearts 2. Roxas, I don't even think I need to explain Roxas. Like I feel like Roxas is like universally beloved. I don't think there's anybody that like hates Roxas in this world. Like they probably exist, but like I don't know. I don't like, who are they? You know? Okay, Vexen. I'm sorry, guys. I'm actually a Vexen hater. Like, the thing is, I feel like with, Recom, they really leaned into, like, the villainry of, like, the organization. And then they really tried to, like, rein it in, like, going forward to, like, try to, I don't even want to say make the characters more likable, but I guess like just show like people who can be multifaceted, which like Axel looks like Axel's gonna be one of the last people I talk about, but he's gonna be like somebody I talk about with this a lot. But like I think like Vexen's impression in like Recom and in 358 is just too strong that like they can do anything with him going forward that's gonna make me be like, oh yeah, maybe he's not that bad. Like his entire like, oh well, I'm number 4 and you're number lower than me or higher than me in this case, therefore I'm more important than you. Like his entire like mentality of like superiority and all that stuff is just like very grating, and like I don't know, I think that he's just like an annoying person and I don't like him that much. And you know what, that sometimes you can just be an annoying person and that's okay. I don't think he deserved to get fireballed by Axel, but like it had to be done. So, and he was fine at the end, so it's okay. But yeah, I think that like even in Kingdom Hearts 3, like he's helpful to us. Like he does help with like the clone making or the body making. What are they called in Kingdom Hearts? I literally forget. But like the vessels that he makes to like put people into. But yeah, I just think that like he's just annoying. He's annoying and he has cemented himself as such. Marluxia. I'm actually not putting her Marluxia in A tier. I'm sorry. I don't know. I think the same things I said for Larxene can be said for Marluxia. And you know what? I do think that Marluxia is a very cool nobody. And like the added hint that Xigbar was the one that brought Marluxia to the organization is also very interesting when when then finding out that Xigbar did know Marluxia as Larium when he was a Keyblade wielder. But I just think that, like, I feel like Marluxia gets done kind of dirty, like, straight up. He dies in, like, Recom, and then he's not brought back until Kingdom Hearts 3 in Tangled World. Which, you guys, you knew Marluxia was going to be the one that was there immediately. As soon as the nobodies were, like, flower-themed, I was like, oh, yeah, they're bringing this bad bitch back. Okay. I just put him a little bit lower than Larxene, because I just, like... I don't know. I just like Larxene better. That's all I'll say. This is, like I said, this is a little bit, like, biased as well. I'm just ranking them based off my own personal criteria. So, like, there's no, you know, it's not serious. I don't remember which side I started on. I think we're at Lexaeus now. I'm going to slam Lexaeus in C tier. Guys, if ever there was, like, the definition of a nothing burger character, Lexaeus is a nothing burger character. He literally just, like, looks cool. Like, not even days could save this man, because he goes on like one mission with Roxas before he goes to the Castle of Oblivion and then like subsequently dies. He's described as like a, what is his name? The stalwart taciturn or something like that, but he's like described as like very quiet. Like he's just a very quiet dude. And that is his like entire personality. Like he has like 2 lines across like the entire series. So there's not much like that you can do with him as a character. He is cool. He has a cool design. I don't like outright dislike him like I do with Vexen, so he just gets to hang out in C tier. And that brings us to Luxord. Luxord gets to hit the top of A tier. Guys, I am so freaking excited. Guys, also, do you say Luxord or Luxord? I know that the canon pronunciation is now Luxord, but dude, I fell into the Luxord like boat. And, like, I could not imagine playing Kingdom Hearts 2 when it came out in, like, 2006 or, like, whenever it came out. And, like, calling him Luxord because he was all like, oh, let's skip the formalities. And then, like, finding out literally a full 14 years later that his name's actually Luxord. Like, I would not even change my pronunciation on that at that point. That's, like, how I'm still, like, full Team Tidus. I will never pronounce his name as the other disgusting Tidus. Ugh. But yeah, I was able to make the shift for Luxord, but I still think Luxord is just like a better pronunciation of his name. But I'm very excited that he is going to be relevant going into like the Quadratum, because he was revealed. I'm not sure if it's before, if like everybody gets the reveal, or if it's a reward for beating the Yazura fight. I can't remember because I did finish the Yazura fight, but we see him as, like, Yazura's driver, which is, like, a very obvious, like, kind of reference to Final Fantasy 15 or Final Fantasy Versus 13, which is kind of what it's based off, but also, like, it's like, oh, he's gonna be involved, which I think is really cool, especially with the way they kind of teased him being weary of Xigbar and kind of understanding that something's going on with him. Like, he's very observant in that sense, and I think that's really cool because they later reveal that he will be involved in some way in the conflict going forward. So yeah, I really like him. I'm really excited to kind of do more with him. And that brings us to Zexion. Zexion is actually just a B tier character. So fun fact, I actually kind of hated Zexion for my first playthrough of Recom, like when I, like way back around 2020. And then I replayed Recom. And I feel like my hatred towards him was pretty unwarranted. Like, I remembered him being on the levels of Vexen and being, like, this, like, annoying asshole character, but he's kind of just, like, a smart guy. And, like, he doesn't really do anything that, like, makes him, like, kind of an asshole. Like, he is very, like, he's very quiet. He's not, like, super quiet, like, not as quiet as Lexaeus, but he's very analytical. He thinks a lot. And, like, in perspective, like, he's also very young. Like, I think he's probably the youngest of the organization outside of Roxas and Xion. And I feel like that's, like, kind of an important aspect to his character as well, that he's actually, like, quite young. So I feel like my hatred toward him was very, like, unwarranted. But while I do, like him now, I don't think that he quite breaks into A and S tier, so that's where he's gonna hang out. And that brings me to Axel. Axel's another easy S. We knew that the main 3 were gonna be easy S. But I think Axel is a very, like, a very, very, very good character. I really like his kind of, like, nuance as a character, as a person. I like that he shows like the two sides of his person. Like he's very fierce, he's fiercely protective, and he has his own moral code and his own like set of like what he believes is right, and he's not afraid to act outside of like the rules or what is expected of him in order to protect those things that he thinks is important. In Recom, he goes full sicko mode. He is like, I don't know if you guys have played Calm recently, like replay, like play like the end of like Kingdom Hearts and like see that Axel, like Dream Drop Distance and like Kingdom Hearts 3 and like see that Axel and then play like Recom and like, dude, it's like night and day. Like this character is like, he is ruthless in Recom. All because like we later see he's trying to get home to see Roxas and later Shion. He doesn't know about Shion at the time, but he's trying to get home. He's trying to protect his friends. He's trying to do what Saïx is asking of him as well, because Saïx is the one that sent him to kind of clean up in Castle Oblivion. But then also on the flip side, like as we see him in 358, we see like this very like nurturing, caring side of him, like with Roxas and Shion. He cares very deeply about both of them. And I think he's a very interesting character because he cares about them so much so that he's also not afraid to like harm them in order to protect them from themselves. Like he and Shion get into multiple fights. Like he knocks her out at like twice that I remember. And it's literally all for the sake of keeping her from remembering Sora and having to die, basically. Like, I don't really know what other way to describe it. Like, she, like, having to face making that decision of going back to Sora. And I think that's really, like, I think that's why Axel's character is, like, so interesting to me, is because, like, he very much is, like, not necessarily a good person, but, like, it's very, like, his motives are very understandable, his actions are understandable, and that makes him very interesting in terms of, like, watching him as a character. Like, it's kind of like, he's unpredictable in the sense of, like, you don't know what he's going to do, which is why, like, Xemnas describes him as, like, the constant traitor. But he's also very predictable in the sense of, like, we know what his goals and motivations are. And, yeah, I just really like him. I really like him. He's another character that I hope doesn't get annexed to the Abyss. I'm gonna move, okay, I'm gonna put Saïx in B tier. So here's the thing, guys. Saïx, like, playing Days did wonders for me understanding Saïx's character better and, like, understanding his motivations and, like, appreciating him more as a character. However, I think that in trying to wrap up everything in Kingdom Hearts 3, I do think that, like, the portrayal of, like, Saïx hanging out with, like, Roxas and Shion and, like, everything being hunky-dory is, like, kind of, like, an injustice to him as, like, a character a little bit. I don't know. Like, I feel like Saïx kind of crossed that line of, like, to the point where forgiveness that easily was, like, not, I don't think that that was, like, realistic. But again, it's a Kingdom Hearts game, so it's, like, you know, they kind of get, like, a little bit of slack there. But I don't know. I just, like, I feel, like, kind of unsatisfied with, like, his character direction in Kingdom Hearts 3. I do think that they did leave a little bit more open for his character with the intro of, like, the girl that they were trying to find originally that led them to becoming nobodies in Hollow Bastion, who we believe might be Skuld. So I do think there is more to his character, and, like, we'll learn more about him, and he'll have more content once, like, that person is, like, revealed or, like, comes to light. So I think that there is time for me to, like him more, and I think that I think that he is, like, again, a good villain. I think that he's very interesting, well thought out. I just, like, I don't know. I don't like Kingdom Hearts 3. I just, like, I didn't really like him in Kingdom Hearts 3. So he's kind of in B tier. But yeah, I didn't expect this video to be that long, but I had a lot to say, I guess. But this is my ranking of the Organization 13 members based off the criteria of what I think about them. Literally, that's the criteria. So let me know who your favorite Organization 13 member. Let me know if I did anybody dirty. or unjustly. And yeah, that is the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.